I like to criticize fascism. I criticize fascism frequently. In my view, fascism is defined by authoritarianism, tribalism, and collectivism. These are the primary characteristics of fascism. Secondary characteristics of fascism include radical thoughtlessness, cult of personality, scapegoating, a love of war and violence, an obsession with conflict, and more. This is my definition of fascism. This definition of fascism is largely consistent with both colloquial and academic definitions of fascism. This definition is consistent with the historical reality of fascism as seen in fascist Italy and Nazi Germany. My anti-fascist videos and my criticism of fascism always gets a lot of criticism from people, and by people, I mean fascists. Fascists exploit the fact that their ideology is notoriously hard to define. They always adopt whatever definition best suits their ends and attack all other definitions. They like to insist that fascism is just corporatism. This ridiculously reductive definition serves to obscure fascism from criticism by hiding its ugly characteristics. Of course, the ugly characteristics inevitably materialize as soon as the fascists take power, because they are integral to fascism. Nobody uses the term fascism simply to describe corporatism. Academically and colloquially, the term fascism is basically never used in this way. The term fascism is only defined in this way when fascists are trying to avoid being criticized for their authoritarianism, tribalism, and collectivism, all of which are defining and essential components of their ideology. Scratch just a little below the surface, and you will find that to be the case. Fascists love to play such semantic games. They will probably try to play these semantic games in the comment section of this video. Such semantic games distract from the substantive issues at stake. Such semantic games give them an opportunity to shroud the ugly characteristics of their worldview. A fascist state that is not authoritarian, collectivist, and tribalist is impossible to imagine. There is no such thing as libertarian, individualistic, inclusive, internationalist fascism. That is impossible, and with a little prodding any fascist will acknowledge that. Which means that authoritarianism, collectivism, and tribalism are indeed defining features of fascism. This must be the case if fascism cannot exist in their absence. And nobody argues for individualistic, inclusive, internationalist, and libertarian fascism. Some insist that fascism is simply corporatism. This is not the definition of fascism that is used academically. This is not the definition of fascism that is used colloquially. This is not the definition of fascism that is used by anyone acting in good faith. Simple corporatism is not what fascists advocate. This is the definition of fascism that is used by fascists who are seeking to avoid criticism by downplaying the ugly side of their ideology, the authoritarianism, collectivism, and tribalism. Do not fall for their semantic tricks. Always remember the ugly reality of fascism. Do note that in this video, I am not talking about a vague political right when I speak about fascism. I am speaking about proper fascists, people who defend and advocate fascism. These people are dangerous. Their ideology is dangerous. It is crucial that they are understood. We cannot defeat our enemies unless we understand the rhetorical and intellectual strategies that they employ.